What's up everyone, my name is Card and welcome back to another game review. Today I'll be playing on the Nintendo Switch and I am so pumped to be talking about this game. Recently there has been a massive increase in indie games that have had that nostalgia treatment like Celeste, Dead Cells, Bloodstained, Slain, and Shovel Knight. Every one of these games are incredible in their own right and some are the best games I've ever played in recent years. As much as I love them, they are all missing something. Something I couldn't tell you, just something. But whatever was missing from those games have been discovered and woven into a game so full of passion and appreciation of retro games, I just gotta tell everyone about it. I can't hold it in any longer, I gotta get this out of the way and I've gotta say it. The Messenger is one of the greatest video games I have ever played. I have no idea how another game can top its awesomeness. It encompasses everything I love about video games, and I've never experienced one that hits all the beats and requirements that I've ever wanted in a game. It reminds me of games from the past regarding art style, music, gameplay, and no matter how increasingly good technology and graphics get, gameplay is what's most important. The Messenger takes inspiration from some of the greatest games ever made and pairs them perfectly together with a jammin' soundtrack that you'll be humming and whistling to for the rest of time. It's an amalgamation of every video game skill you've learned since picking up a controller, and that's why I've become so addicted and obsessed with this game. I can't stop thinking about it, and I'm always talking about it with my friends. When I'm not playing, I listen to the insane soundtrack on repeat, because it's the soundtrack to my life. The bar has been set so ninja flippin' high for competing indie games, or any game for that matter. It constantly challenges your patience and platforming skills, but will make you feel like the most badass ninja while doing so. And who doesn't want to be a badass ninja? An 8-bit. If there is one game this year you need to play, I highly recommend The Messenger. The Messenger was developed by Sabotage Studio and published by Devolver Digital. It is a beautiful tribute to Ninja Gaiden from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the game that paved the way for fast-paced, side-scrolling action platformers that are hard as hell to beat. The story kicks off on an island where a clan of ninja and the last remaining humans on the planet reside. These warriors train day and night to prepare for the war that occurs every few hundred years between good and evil. You play as a nameless ninja sent on a mission to deliver a sacred scroll that will save everyone from the Demon King, his army invasion, and destruction of the world. The adventure you embark on is linear for the first half of the game until you reach a point where time travel is introduced. This sets up a well-paced narrative that is pieced together by exploring the past and future. The art style goes from an 8-bit past to a 16-bit future. From then on, the entire game genre shifts to a Metroidvania style where you can explore in all directions of the screen. You traverse on land, underground, up mountains, and beyond while defending yourself against an assortment of demonic enemies and dangerous level hazards. The level designs are very diverse and unique, and they keep the game from getting stale. There are even levels where you get to ride a freaking dragon. How cool is that? As an 8-bit ninja from the past, you look pretty generic as most ninja from the 8-bit era do. However, the design for the 16-bit ninja couldn't get any better. The sprite gets a complete makeover with cool shoulder blades, a rad red cape, and Raiden's hat from Mortal Kombat. I don't know about you, but playing a ninja Raiden guy pumps me up. This game is so awesome. The story is very charming with characters that will downright make you laugh. There's a cute little demon named Corbel that appears every time you die, and it'll kindly insult you and hang out with you until you've paid him enough time shards for resurrecting you. It doesn't affect the game in any other way. You can use time shards to upgrade and reduce Corbel's fee, so I'd suggest upgrading that early on because as I mentioned, you're going to die and die a lot. The blue-robed characters are pretty funny, notably when the shopkeeper first sees you after the transition to the 16-bit future and comments on your hat. On your cool hat. The banter between you and the shopkeeper is like between you and your best friend. Kolos and Susies are hilarious cyclopses you encounter in the past, but in the future, they're just dry bones. That being said, this time travel mechanic does send you on numerous fetch quests very similar to any Legend of Zelda game. The Messenger doesn't really take itself too serious and ultimately gives the player a fun experience using time travel and mastering the art of ninja. You are, after all, constantly punished and rewarded, with a little humor. Players begin their quest with a certain number of health points and shurikens, but those can both increase in capacity as you upgrade your character. You can recover life and shurikens by striking enemies or lanterns in hopes that they drop health potions or stars. You carry a katana sword, and as you progress and collect time shards by busting lanterns or time crystals, you start to unlock new abilities as well as receive items integral to your arsenal. The first skill you learn and must perfect aside from the wall climb is called Cloud Step. I know, it's a sweet name. Essentially, it's a double jump. However, your jump only refreshes once you interact with an enemy or a lantern. You can upgrade your attack to hit enemy projectiles, which is handy in tight spots with few platforms or lanterns. This is a fresh take on the double jump mechanic, and it did take a while to get the hang of, but by the end of the game, you'll have it mastered. The RPG element and upgrade system is minimal, yet a perfect amount for this kind of game. You'll never feel overpowered with items and abilities. This game really does come down to the player's overall skill. My personal favorite skill or item in this game is the rope dart, aka the hook shot. It can be used to grapple onto lanterns, enemies, walls, and rings. It feels so good when you hook onto an enemy, pull yourself to them, and slash them away. You acquire a wingsuit that allows you to glide mid-air and delay your jumps. Shurikens are always useful at a distance and can do some heavy damage when upgraded. Every item and weapon you get in this game is as important as the next one. The Messenger has some of the smoothest and tightest gameplay I've ever felt in a game. You feel every bit in control, and together with all the skills you learn, you'll feel so much like a ninja, wall climbing, water skimming, and sword slashing your way as fast and deadly as possible. I am a sucker for speedrunning, so I can't resist just moving forward and letting momentum carry me. This game invites speedrunning because you feel so much like a ninja and you can do anything. There will be times where you must use every skill in a short duration, making your hands and fingers dance with the controller. There's no greater feeling than pulling off crazy stunts and defeating nasty bosses with the sickest of moves. Learning the ability to dash underwater, or better yet, run on water, demonstrates the true skill of a ninja, and I get all giddy and make sound effects every time I see tiny splashes leaving my feet as I run across the surface in the most ninja of poses. Ninja. Speaking of sound effects, the Messenger really turns up the awesome when you slash an enemy and hear that grunt. I love that. The sound design is excellent, from sword slashing to star throwing. Even submerging underwater drowns out the soundtrack, which I think is super cool. You'll encounter time portals throughout the game that allow you to travel back to the future or past. You get access to a map that helps you on your way, but depending on whether you're playing in the past or the future will determine what sections of the map are accessible, adding a unique puzzle twist to the game. You'll find yourself traveling back and forth through every level, struggling to survive until you reach the next save point. Luckily, portals make traveling a lot less tedious and repetitive once you find them. At first I wasn't sure if I liked the whole genre switch from linear to Metroidvania, but as I continued playing and my skills got increasingly better, I didn't mind the backtracking. In fact, I love it. This game took me over 20 hours to finish, so I'm all for changing the game style. You're basically playing two different games. What's wrong with that? You'll encounter blue glowing Navi looking creatures in the game that will, when hit, open a portal to the opposite timeline you're currently in, possibly unveiling details, platforms, and walls that weren't there before. You'll also collect power seals, which will allow you to open the treasure chest in the Tower of Time. Inside lies the only weapon upgrade in the game, the Shuriken Boomerang. This weapon delivers tons of damage to enemies and can stay in flight so long as you avoid catching it. It may be a tad overpowered, but it wasn't until I finished this game when I received it, and you go through hell and back, dying dozens of times for these power seals, so you deserve a little OP from time to time. This game is not easy and will test every skill you learn throughout the journey by killing you over and over again. Every death is a lesson learned, and you learn a lot. The Messenger has plenty of references to older games. The most obvious besides Ninja Gaiden is the lanterns that are similar to the ones in Castlevania. There are even enemies in this game that move like the Medusas from Castlevania. The blue demons in this game remind me of the cross-throwing baddies in Ninja Gaiden, and that's probably why I hate them the most, despite how easy it is to kill them. The rope dart is clearly the hook shot from the Zelda series. There's a spectacular boss fight that pulls from the battle with Ganon in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Let me tell you, I was going crazy when I saw that. Let's not forget this part being inspired by the water level in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. You know the one. Yeah, that one. The bosses even blink when they're getting low on health, just like the bosses in every other Ninja Turtle or beat 'em up game. The Messenger wouldn't be as perfect of a game if it wasn't for its outstanding soundtrack. It's very fitting as well, seeing how one of your quests throughout the game is to collect music notes, which progress you further into the plot and unlocks the final stage, the music box. The music was composed by Rainbow Dragon Eyes, and it blows me away, so much that I bought the soundtrack. Every beat and every chiptune is so catchy, so invigorating, I find myself rocking out to it in my head everywhere I go. I'm addicted to it. I want to play the game right now so I can listen to the music. There is both an 8-bit and 16-bit version of the soundtrack, and in-game, the music adjusts accordingly to what time period you're presently in. The boss battles have some of the most epic tracks I've ever heard in any game. There's so many games out there with amazing soundtracks, but none of them are this memorable. I'm talking Mega Man 2 memorable, Guile stage memorable. Listen to this, how can you not dig it? The Messenger is a masterpiece, a noble nod to Ninja Gaiden and retro games of our past. Its unique game mechanics, tight fluid controls, fresh comedic time-traveling story, and heart-pumping music will have you wanting to play more and more. The game is challenging and quite a long journey to finish, but as you venture forward, you'll learn to overcome any obstacle with patience, discipline, and dedication. I have no doubt The Messenger will be a title future game developers will look back and strive towards. For $25, this game is an absolute treasure, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you like challenging games that reward you for your time and skill while mastering the art of ninja, do not skip out on this one. I am telling you, it is insanely good. I give The Messenger 5 ninja stars out of 5 and consider it one of my favorite games of all time. Have you played The Messenger? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Toss a ninja star at that like button and use your hook shot on the subscribe button. For more game reviews, stay tuned. Now if you don't mind, I've been wanting to play this game for the duration of this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching everyone, I'll catch you later.